right. One of the things that we know is going to happen tomorrow, we're going to talk to Stephen Moore in just a few minutes about what's going on in the economy. But one of the things that is supposed to happen tomorrow is the president's supposed to address the whole student loan situation.
Yeah, we're expecting that announcement tomorrow, as you said. But leaning towards canceling $10,000 in student loan debt for borrowers who make less than $125,000.
Yes. And now, this bothers me on many levels.
I was going to say, I know this is, you're
one of my
this.
pet issues, because it's like buying votes, because they know that those people in that situation probably are Democrat, young, they have debt and a certain level of income. But what bothers me, as a father who is now paying 2 tuitions and fees and all the rest, where do I get my check? Where are you going to sit?
Right.
And I'm being very selfish there. There are millions of those that have gone before these people who have either paid for their own schools or their parents have. What about the moral appropriateness of why these people, why did they get it forgiven? That's just one issue.
But I think what your point about them buying, it's seeming to be buying votes, because you know you're going to rally certain voters, and generally the voters you're going to be rallying, they're voters who are going to vote Democrat. So you're basically buying Democratic votes and also anticipating maybe college students to be, if they're voting for the first time as turning 18, but also those who may be continuing in school may think, wow, if I'm getting $10,000 forgiven once, what is it going to be next time?
Maybe. And by the way, the colleges have continued to raise all their fees and tuition, knowing that there was a place that people were going to get the money. All right, let's bring in Stephen Moore. We can talk about this and some other things. Stephen, just want your thoughts on that. You may have heard us talking about the tuition forgiveness thing, which obviously I'm not a fan of, unless they're going to forgive everybody's. Which I say that tongue in cheek because I don't believe that should be done. But what are your thoughts about this?
It's really quite an outrage. It's such an injustice, actually, to the people who did pay back their loans and, did the right thing. What a horrible example the United States government is setting by telling people they can be deadbeats and not pay back their loans. I mean, really, it's quite outrageous, I think. And for people who did pay their loans, they're the suckers here because the government would have forgiven your loan. And how many people do you think will ever repay a loan, a student loan at this point? I mean, this actually is the nail in the coffers of the student loan program.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be. But
I mean, it should be. Probably isn't. But I mean, seriously, we are going to tell people, well, you don't have to pay back your loans, but the people in the future have to pay back their loans. They're not going to pay them back.
Well, think about how they can use that.
Billions of dollars of debt.
Yeah, think about how they can use that as a political. Oh, we better reelect these Democrats in the House and the Senate to make sure that, because if it's the Republicans, they may not forgive our next wave of debt.
But then also remember who's paying for those forgiven loans? We are.
You and I know that. Exactly. We all are. And that's why
economics
I agree with you a little bit on one thing. I think this is wildly unpopular with the American people. I think the Democrats are going to pay a big price for this. Americans have a sense of justice and fairness. This is really unfair. And, you can have somebody in a $100,000 a year job and they can get their loans forgiven. Yeah. And you made a really good point, too. The other villain is in this, there's 2 villains here. Number one is the people who aren't paying back their student loans when they should be. And the second is the universities themselves, who charge these outrageous tuitions. And they're the ones who should be on the hook if people don't pay back the loans, not the taxpayer, not me and you.
Yeah, well, how about these colleges that have such high tuition and fees? A lot of them have endowments worth hundreds of millions or billions of dollars. How about them coming in and either loaning the money or paying off? If they really want these things paid off, put the money to work that way.
Right.
I mean, exactly. And you just maybe understated it. Harvard has $100 billion. I mean, Harvard could charge free tuition from now until forever and still not run out of money in their endowment. So instead of, paying these massive, salaries to professors and things like that, why don't they make it more affordable to people? But even a lot of the smaller colleges have endowments, and they should be using those endowments to make the colleges more affordable. But the problem has been the student loan program has made the colleges and the kids basically addicted to these loans.
It's
Yeah.
people like you.
What?
It's Harvard.
It is not. I wish Harvard tuition
She went
had
to
been
Harvard,
free.
so she should make.
My parents worked very, very hard to make that possible. But man, that would have been nice.
Right, but the endowment there, you should call them and say, start paying off.
1 million years ago.
You know what?
Can I get
at
that
least
back?
at least let's.
Oh, he's breaking
Oh,
up.
and he's
those
frozen.
we raised from the endowments and loan debt.
Yeah.
How do you like that idea?
You were breaking up. I like whatever you said,
whatever you
Stephen.
said was brilliant,
You were
right?
breaking up, and we're sure it was fantastic. So we're going to leave it there.
Yeah, Stephen Moore, thanks so much for joining us.